Welcome to Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
A little bit late. That's okay. Hang on. Well, we're both sick still, it seems, but the show must go on.
That's it. I'm buggered, man. I'm wrecked, eh? I fell asleep before. That's when you rang me, woke me up. I'm like, holy shit, what was I doing?
Yeah, I had to have a shower.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah. It is a day late because last Friday we were both sick and we still sound a bit sick, and then I had an 18th to go to last night, so it was my little cousin's 18th, and I thought I won't miss that. And I think you were working late anyway, weren't you?
No, actually, I finished up early and come home and hung out with the kids for a while, man. I've got a heap of work in there, and I'm too wrecked to get through it. It's just not worth pushing through and trying to get it done. You know, it's I needed a break, and then today was going to be my day off and tomorrow, but I ended up going to work and dropping some stuff off, and for work, and then mother-in-law's car broke down, so I went to give her a hand to fix that as well. So it's been a busy day for me, even though I was meant to be resting. But you get that. Yeah, it happens, man. No rest of the wicked.
Yeah, hi to everybody that are joining and everyone that's saying hi. We've been a bit slack lately, so we're going to get back into that. But we've got an interesting night tonight because it's our police special. So we talk about our little police stories.
I was waiting for the Bad Boys theme intro or something. I was like, yeah, that'd be cool.
I can put that in. I'm just trying to get comfortable.
Yeah. I'm just sitting out in my kitchen at home, so...
I'm wearing grey tracksuit pants, but my wife said that I'm not allowed to wear them on the live. I don't know what she's talking about.
Anyway. Seeing up and gives a bit of a shake, mate. Should be right.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
There'll be nothing there. I'll have to edit something in.
Yeah. Bit of a banana pick there or something, you know. Should be right.
Yeah, no, I'll have to set it up later. I'll put a light bulb or something in there and look around.
Man.
You're still proper sick.
Dude, I'm wrecked, eh? Cannot get over it. And then been to the doctors and got all this medication and nothing's helping. So, yeah.
You just got to chill. You just got to stay at home and chill. And that's the only way that works. It's only
it was quite like I didn't go to work, but went and had to go with the mother-in-law's car, and but that was an easy one, man. She rang up, she goes, there's a problem with the power steering, it's not running right. And then I got there and the battery was dead in it, like no voltage in the battery. And I had a jump pack. I'm like, I'll jump start it, but this is a weird thing. There wasn't enough voltage, so it didn't start, but the battery was so dead that the alternator wouldn't take over to start charging the battery. That's how flat the battery was. Wow. And my little jump pack will fire it, but you can't run a car off a jump pack. They're just not made to do that.
No.
So, we had to get a battery, put a battery in it, and now it's all good. So she might be up for an alternator as well, but we're not sure yet.
Well, see, they're hard to tell with these new smart alternators because they come in and go out, so you don't know when it's charging or not. You got to watch them for that.
Exactly right. And the amount of new cars, like with an old car, like if you had an old car that's got a coil in it or a set of points or something like that, once it fires, man, and the alternator's turning, you can have no battery in it. I've jump-started cars before with no batteries and driven them home. As long as you don't install them, they'll keep on running. So.
Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, Belly's saying it's hard to work with you because you're just like cough snorting all the time trying to die.
Exactly right. Yeah. Can't help it. I keep getting told I need to stop before I kill myself, but...
Well, if we're going to talk about our police stories... Our police interactions. No names.
No.
You could go suburbs and vehicle, but no names. Do you want to go on first, or do you want me to go first?
Mate, I reckon you kick us off tonight. You kick us off. I probably don't have as many cool ones as you. All mine were from like 20 years ago. I've been a good boy the last couple of years. You know, I've been staying out of trouble.
I'm trying to think. The last decent one would have been. Oh, okay, maybe only 2 or 3 years ago. I got sent to Queensland. We're at the Gold Coast. We got sent to Gold Coast to have a look at an R32. So I had a guy. He sent me to Sydney originally to look at 16 GTRs. So he paid me to go down to Sydney, and we looked at everything from standard all the way up to 1,000 horsepower. Test drove GTRs all day in Sydney. Went home with none of them. I picked every single one. At the end of the day, we knew the common faults with them. We're always like, okay, well, that one's got the dash issue as well. That one's got this issue. And we're driving all these GTRs all day. He was driving interstate, and he must have found one in Gold Coast. And he said, hey, look, we'll go up there and we'll drive it back. So we'll fly up in the morning. We'll jump in this GTR, and then we'll drive it back unregistered, no plates. And so by the time we'd got up there, stuffed around and taken the plates, and you had to go, it was on a Saturday, had to go to whatever your version is of Service New South Wales. Yeah. And we're on the highway about 3 o'clock in the Arvo, GTR, no plates, through the Gold Coast. We're banging through, just driving it like normal, getting a feel for the car. And we got to, might have been Grafton, I think. And it was about 10 o'clock at night. And I turned the headlights off, and I turned them back on. And I was just talking about driving with the headlights off, I don't know. But we must have gained the attention of this cop car because we were cruising along. And at the same time I decided to turn the lights back on, I was in 4th gear or something. I put the foot down, and the car's clicked up, got 5th gear. Car's clicked up to 200, 210 k's an hour. And I'm in 5th gear, and it's doing about 6,000 RPM. And I'm holding it flat. And I'm like, it's not going past 210. And the guy that owns it's next to me. So we're doing 210 on the highway. It's sitting there sort of 6,000 RPM. I went to 6th gear, and it stayed at like 4,500. Wouldn't go above 210. Went back to 4th gear, up to red line. Wouldn't go past 210. And I'm like, I think this thing's limited at 210. Like, that's as fast as we're going. But it was long enough at 210 for me to, we would have been going for, 5 minutes at full max speed in this GTR, middle of the night, no number plates. As I decided to back off, I put it in 6, I've backed off, and we've just gone boom, straight past the cop car on the side of the road. And I was like, oh crap, and jammed the brakes on. And all good. Yeah, right. Jammed the brakes on at 210, and I've pulled straight over, and the car took, 30 seconds to catch up to us. And he's pulled up and he sat behind us. And my mate's next to me, he's like, we're fucked. We're gone 210 in 100 zone. Like, we've got no plates. We've got no nothing. And I just looked at him. I'm like, just chill out, bro. I'll let me do the talking. Don't say a word. And he's like, just freaking out because he's like, we're getting towed home. We're fucked. Middle of the night. It's 10 o'clock at night. What are we going to do? The cops knock up and they roll the window down, and he has a look. And he's like, do you guys want to step out of the car? And I was like, oh, this isn't going very good already. He goes, do you know what speed you were doing back there? I said, I'm sorry, man, I've got no idea. And he's like, oh, you were turning your headlights on and off. And I'm like, yeah, look, we just got this car. I drive a Hilux all day. The speedo on the GTR 200's like in the middle, and 100 on my Hilux was in the middle. I'm like, I was just cruising and hammering along, and the speedo goes up by 30s, and I just couldn't really tell how fast we were going. Such a different dynamic. It's just bullshitting on. And he's like, pops the bonnet. He gets our unregistered permit, goes through it, checks the numbers, checks the engine number, goes right through it. And then he said, look, I don't know how fast you're going, but I have to get 3 readings on the gun. And when you come past us, you nearly knocked me over. And the reading is 180, then 110, then 70. Now it has to even out. Like, so they have to take they get 3 readings and then that's it. So he could only get me for 10 over. I was with 210, jammed the brakes on so hard as he went past, he could only get me for 10 over. So he did me for 10 over, and we just drove away. And my mate's next to me, he's like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? How the fuck did you do that? I was like, trust me, bro. I've been here before. Let me do the talking. So that was the last time I got in trouble. And that's one looking at 12 stories that I have written down here about running from the cops, getting done by the cops. So yeah, that was pretty funny. That was, he sold that. And now he's got another GTR, which is the grey one I have in my shop all the time. Basically the same car, but
holy shit.
That's my favourite one. That's a pretty
Yeah.
good story.
That's fucking
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Bro, that was proper hammering too.
Yeah,
Like
hell yeah.
it was
Yeah,
like, you know, when you're going that fast, it's like over. Well, obviously it could only do 210, but I've done some cars like 250, 270, and the wind, it's like it sort of makes your ears like flutter. You can't, the air pressure, you can't hear properly.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Bike, man. I've been on a couple of bikes like crotch rockets back in the day. I had a VTR 1000 SP2, and it's speedo, digital speedo, topped out at 299, but then the tacho would keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see the speedo goes 299, then starts flashing at you. So that was always fun doing that. Did it a few times, like one or two times, I suppose. So yeah, that's a whole lot of fun.
Well, now we got Revhead on here saying how's things. I'm sure with a name like that, you've got some pretty good police stories.
yeah, Shauno's like bloody calling me bloody unicycle because every time the boys ever saw me on that bike, it was always on the back wheel. I never put the front wheel down. Leaving work, I just wheelie up and over the top of the hill, and you know, in Redcliffe, I used to wheel stand it bloody everywhere. So yeah, it's a whole heap of fun.
Well, in a Commodore here, well, because I had the 5-litre with the Turbo 700 in it, we put 411 gears in the back, and the speedo just hammered up. So I'd be going. I've probably only ever done like 160 in that car. I've never really pushed it.
Yeah.
But we're on the we're at Power Cruise, and I'm top gear red line, but the speedo was like, we're probably doing 150 k's an hour because of the diff gears, but the speedo would be on like 40 k's an hour, and you'd back off and it'd come back around.
Yeah.
But I would keep going. So it's 220, I think it goes to, and it'd be like 260, 270, 280. Really, we're doing, I don't know, 2/3 of that, but the speedo's reading that, so it's pretty funny.
Oh bloody hell, man!
What do you reckon? What's your first police chase story? You reckon?
Oh man, I got one where we never got chased, but we got out of stuff that we were doing leading up to it. So this was back when I was living in Bateman's Bay, and so had a V8. What did I have back then? I think it was might have been a VNSS. 5-litre. Mate of mine had a VN Calais with a 5-litre in it. Another mate of mine had an XY GT HO replica. Yeah. 351 top loader in it. And another mate of mine had a Gemini with a rotary in it. So anyway, we're going out. So I've got the skid rims on the back of mine, had the chasers on the back, 18s on the front. We're out dropping skids everywhere on these cars. And then there was some sort of concert thing happening in one of the parks. So we're going, oh cool, we'll cruise in there and we'll chirp the tyres and carry on like Muppets like we used to do. And so we pulled in there and we backed all these cars and parked all in there. And then cops pulled in. And then my mate looks at me and goes, oh, we're screwed. You got chasers on the back, you know. And then he looks at his car. Now, this was back in the day before they had number plate recognition. You had the rego labels on your window, and that's how they used to check it. So we're standing there and we're like, yeah, we'll see what happens. And my mate looks at his XY, and Troy, his name was Troy, he's on here as well. So he's got unregistered car. He just realised, he looks at the sticker, he goes, shit, I'm unregistered. What do we do? And I'm like, shit, all right, no worries. So we had a couple of girls with us. So I got one of the girls. I'm like, quickly sit up on his bonnet and lay on the windscreen, cover the rego label. Yeah. So the cops had come up and they're walking around the cars, they're walking around mine. And these two male coppers, they just kept shining the light on this chick. So they kept shining the light on the chick, looking at her. They go back to one of the cars, shine the light on the chick, go back to walking in the cars. And anyway, they come up to us, just smile, and they go, you guys have a good night, all right? And they ended up leaving. So I got away with bald tyres on the back, me skid rims that were bald. Me mate of mine had the same. He had an unregistered car, but because we sat this chick on the bottom of the car, the cops were perving on it, we got away with it. So,
so if you got bald tyres, you just need a bald girl.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Have a hot chick with you, you get away with everything, they reckon. So,
Iceball saying that I need to come up and fix that HZ with you. I've offered a few times. But...
Dude, man. Oh, if you want to come up, more than happy. Like, I've had a few people hit me up, like, oh, did you get onto this week? And we've had so much work. I've had Belly working with me this week. Yeah. One of his boss's cars in there, and we just didn't even have time to look at the thing. So, yeah, I ended up buying I bought a high volume oil pump for it, and it's sitting on my bench. And everyone goes, bang that in, that might fix your problem. So
Maybe, but I
other
still
people
think
say to me, like, oh, don't worry about it. I had a couple of old timers that used to work for Holden that built the motors.
yeah.
And they said, man, they never had oil pressure when they were bloody brand new. He goes, don't worry about it, just drive it. So I was like,
I put a high volume oil pump on my 5 litre, and it took the idle PSI from 18 to 28.
yep. Yeah,
So, and that was a new thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my problem then was because I was skidding it all the time. I used to get the oil pressure light come on mid skid because it would fill the tappet covers up with oil. We had to end up taking the tappet covers off, and we put 2 3/4 right angle drains on the back, and then drilled holes in the sump. So I had these 2 big hoses that went into the sump because you put it in and stuff. The oil would hammer back out the tappet covers and into the sump. So that was the only way to stop it.
My brother fried one of my HSV motors doing that.
Mm.
Not skidding it, but we were at this is another story, not a cop story, but it might have been. So I was at Summernats and I had my HJ that I used to show was at Summernats. And I needed something brought up. And I said to my brother, I said, jump in the car and come up, thinking he's going to jump in his own car and come up. So I had a VP Club Sport. So him and a mate jumped in that car, got halfway to Canberra and just destroyed the motor, absolutely destroyed it. So, and what happened, we think, is all the oil's gone to the top end and wouldn't drain back fast enough. And just the bearings, when we pulled the crank out, the bearings looked like a banana peel and they were all purple and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then a mate of mine said that they were on the way up to Canberra too, and they heard a V8 screaming behind them. By the time they turned their head to look behind them, the car had gone past, and when they turned back to look where it was already gone. So they reckon he come past it like over 200, like just on the limiter, just about. So yeah, he give it a workout on the way up there.
I drove from Canberra home once in that Commodore, and I was like top gear limiter the whole time. So I got from Canberra along the Federal Highway to Sydney in like just over 2 hours.
Yep.
I was hammering that car, but
oh man,
that's just a different story. But
yeah, that's what they said. Some of the 5 litres were they were renowned for, like, oil would get up the top end, but if it was too much, they wouldn't drain back fast enough, like you were saying. So,
yeah,
I think I cooked 2 or 3 motors. I did a Maloo motor like that, and I did a couple of ASS motors, same thing, cooked them. So, geez, me and motors just don't get along by the sounds of this story that I'm coming out with.
Me and axles don't get along. Belly's saying that you're pulling it out no matter what. I think that's a good idea. Just
we're going to pull it and check.
Even just to check it, like, it's better than cruising and then knocking the motor out later, you know what I mean?
It just sucks. You throw all that money into it and get a professional shop to do all the machine work, and it could be one little thing. Like, it could be something wrong with the pickup. It could be a crack in the pickup tube, which you'd never see, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, mate, it's a pain in the ass. Like, I put all this effort into the car, all this money, finally red it, first drive around the block, and I pull into the shed and the oil light's coming on and off at idle, and that's the only reason I picked up on it. So
yeah. How you going there, Donkey? Week's been
Donkey, how you going, guys?
Flat out. So I've been on the road. I've been doing heaps of stuff on the road and staying out of that shed.
Fix electric brake issues.
Oh yeah, that's a big issue. That's an interesting one.
Still thinking about that one for you, man. It's got me screwed.
No, so I think that the earth might be separate for the brakes than it is for the. I don't know. I'll talk to you about that later. Anyway.
No, that's right. That's an off-topic issue.
Talking about girls and police, I remember Jasmine when she was what would have been. Fuck it, we are old now, like 36, 35.
Fucking Jesus.
She would have been
my ass.
16. She would have been 16, year 10 formal. And we're in my old Commodore that I put around the telegraph pole, so it was like this one. And so you can picture me. Well, before we get to that part of the story, I was away working army, and she's rung me because I had my own unit out the back of my parents' house. And she's rung me and she said, "Hey, I'm going to take your dogs for a walk." And I said, "Okay." Well, I had Sarge and Pig were their 2 names, and they were both just mental staffies. I said, "Put Sarge on a lead on the choker chain and keep it tight because he'll walk on his back legs to get away from you. So just choke him out. And then the other one, she'll listen to you 100%. She'll just stand next to you, do not put them both on a lead because they will run with each other.
Yeah.
Pig will stay with you if you tell her to stay, and she'll walk with you. But if she takes off, he'll take off.
Yeah.
Anyway, didn't listen to me. Didn't want to, because we lived on a main road. She didn't want to walk the dogs across the main road without them being on a lead.
Yeah.
So she opens the gate. This is 4 days before her year 10 formal, and puts them both on a lead. The gate opens. Boom, they both take off, and they drag this 50-kilo girl face first across the main road, just all the way to the other side, and she just didn't let him go. She just held on and just got launched. And so 5 days later, we're driving up the back towards Cardiff, and you can picture me. I'm a young army kid, so I'm wearing a singlet, bald head, just look like some romper stomper looking little bastard, right? And then got Jasmine next to me. She's got 2 black eyes, busted lip.
Oh, no.
And she's wearing her swimmers. She's got off her arms everywhere. She had greys all down one side, both knees, tops of her feet, the lot. Like she had been dragged along the road. She was belted.
Weird.
And so we're driving, and I pull over because they've hit the lights. I've pulled over. Cop walks up next to me, and he's like, "Hey mate, had anything to drink?" I'm a pee plate. I know, haven't had anything to drink. He looks at me and he looks at her. And he looks at me. And he's like, "Just wait there." And I was like, "Okay," because I didn't think anything of it. You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We're just sitting there. Anyway, he goes back. He's talking through the window. All the doors open, and then the cops. There's 4 of them, and they walk up the side of the car on each side. And one of them looks into Jasmine and says, "I just want you to know that you're in a safe place now."
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "Do you want to explain what's happened to your girlfriend?" And she, no word of a lie, I can't even make up. She goes, "I fell over."
Yeah. Oh,
So
shit.
I get out of the car. They pull her out of the car, and they take her like 15 meters away into the bush, and I have to stand next to the car. And he's like, "So, do you want to tell me what's happened to her?" And I said, "It's actually a pretty funny story. She didn't listen to me, and got dragged across the main road by my 2 dogs when I was working away." And then she's told the same story. They've talked, and then put it back in the car, and we drove off. But man, she fell over. Absolutely belted
not the
up.
first
Like,
word she just
2
said to the
black
cop,
eyes.
like, she wouldn't listen to me.
I feel like going, "Don't you say anything?" Yeah, she was like 2 black eyes, busted lip. She was messed up, but yeah, that was so bad.
Oh, dude.
Hey everyone, how we got? Oh, Phil's back. Love Phil. Phil's
Hell yeah,
always.
you going, brother?
Jane, how's Hexham been treating you? Oh, someone's seen me out. I've been fucking cruising around Hexham Heaps lately. Actually, I've been at the auction yard there, and there's a hire yard there. So, yeah. What are we complaining about? Beached whale? I don't know. Could be anything.
I don't complain about anything. It's not
Me being old.
Yeah.
That's funny. You've been to a full meeting at school because your daughter gave your son a black eye. That's excellent.
Yeah. Sounds like me and my kids. They got bark off memory. Actually beat each other up.
Oh yeah. Oh, I messaged you about the Raider. Remember? To be honest, I'll tell you what. I put that Raider up for sale. Right? I made a TikTok. Put the Raider up for sale in the morning. Thought nothing of it. Ford Raider, ugly as fuck. Who cares? Chalky paint, covered in rust. No rego. 96 messages over 2 days. I couldn't use my phone. I nearly took it down because it was just ding, 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 and I'd try and write back. It was the worst thing ever. It just kept on going.
Yeah.
And I had about 4 or 5 people lined up to see it. And then this one guy's like, "Oh, I'm in the area now," and I'm trying. Oh, it was painful. Over $500. I'll tell you what.
It's crazy, man. Some of the cars you think you'll never sell go quick, and some cars you think, "Oh yeah, everyone will want this." You don't get a phone call.
Oh man, yeah. And so I ended up just this guy come and picked it up, and he come and looked at it. It was exactly what he wanted for a farm ute. It was his dad. They sort of had all this flood damage over, because it's been flooding here heaps, and he's got a property and he's got like a big shed up the back for his animals, and he can't get up there because the road's fucked.
Yeah.
So he bought that to go and tow stuff out of a shed. That's all he wanted it for, so he could run his farm. And I was like, wow, I'm very good recipient. So yeah, I gave it to him.
Perfect.
Okay,
Man, we got a ruckus here saying police stories, eh? I work for them. And then Donkey's guy got pulled over for an RBT. My 6-year-old says, the copper, are you a good one or a bad one? I tell you what, kids get you in trouble with the coppers, man. My son, Dion, he's late 20s now, lives in Sydney. Bloody awesome kid. Anyway, when he was younger, me and his mum were together, and I used to take him everywhere. Like I had my had a HJ back then, tunnel ram out the bonnet, full polished cage. It had a 308 in it, turbo 400, 411s in it. It was angry car. And I used to take him to birthday parties in it and everything, and do skids in it and invite, and we used to do so much. But I remember one day I think I might have had that at home and did a massive burnout up the street, and then I went and locked it in the garage, pulled the roller down, went inside. About half an hour later, we got a knock on the door, and Dion answers the door, my son, opens the door, and there's a copper stand there, and Dion goes, hey, my dad just did burnouts. I was like, oh, man, no, you don't know. So, yeah. Kids, man, truthful little bastards. So, yeah.
Oh, actually, I've got a story like that. It was funny. Sandgate, so there's a Sandgate industrial area up here, and it's once you go into the industrial area, there's a block, and it's just a perfect rectangle, and it's just 90-degree corners. You can throw. It's like 3 or 4 lanes wide, but like no marked lines. So you can come in and throw corners all day.
Yeah.
And so we took me and 3 mates all took our cars up there one afternoon. Now, it would have looked like the Holden, like year by year. So we're doing a train. We're just following each other, sliding around. There was a VL, a VQ Statesman, my VS wagon, and a VP. So we're like going around the block, sliding around the block, and as you sort of come up, there's one straight, and it goes to the right, and it goes up slightly, and then it comes around to the right, and it's the main straight to get out of there. Was I second? I was the second car, so the VL slid, and then I've gone full lock, and then my mate's full lock behind me as we're sliding these corners, and there was like a truck on the corner to turn right, and I'm nose to nose with this truck, and we're looking at the truck as we're going around, and tucked behind that truck is a police car. So we're like sliding sideways, looking at this cop, just non-stop cars going around, and we're all over the place, and this cop's tried to turn around and couldn't get around quick enough, because as soon as we're going past cops, we're like, out of there.
Yeah, it's
So we're out of there. There's lights at the end, and they take ages to change. We're like, nah, through the lights, going up towards my house. My house is at Shortland, so I was only 5 minutes away. We're hammered up there, and we've spat all the cars into the yard and stuff like that, and we're just laughing about it, because it was like 12 o'clock during the day. And then it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Dad comes down because I had my own unit, like I said, out the back. Dad comes, he knocks on the door, and he's like, there's 4 cops out the front looking for you. And I'm like, oh, well, I better go talk to them then. So I've gone out the front, and the shirt's up there. I'll have to show you it. You probably can't see it, but it's a Burger King, like Hungry Jack's rip-off shirt, but it says Burnout King. And I fucking forgot that I was wearing it, right? So I go out the front, and I've got Burnout King plastered across the fucking front of me, and the sergeant's there, and he had this blonde constable with him, and he's like, "Is your name?" I was like, "Yep." And then the chick, she's looked at him, they looked at each other, and they're smirking, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And they're like, "Oh, you wouldn't have to have been down Sandgate before, because we've got your plates written down as having a bit of fun." And I was sort of going, "Oh no, I was driving around there. I don't really know what you're talking about." Blah blah. And all the cars were in the backyard, like down the side of the yard, and I could see them. And then the cop goes, "Look, I'll show you something," and goes down and says, "See how you got stickers on the back window and that they stand out, and that's how you're gonna get caught and everything like that." And then the chick goes, "Or it could be the fact that you've got Burnout King written across your chest." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, hey." And then they're like, they didn't catch us, so they just let us go. But that was pretty funny. Fucking idiot that I was.
Oh man.
I love the cops.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I got done when I first moved to Queensland. I got done doing fucking wheelies up bloody not on Sandgate Road, but I lived in Redcliffe, lived at Woody Point.
Yeah.
I had a VDR 1000 back then, not my SP2, but I just had a Firestorm, and I used to wheelie that all day, every day, man. It was just a wheelie machine, and I'd come down Anzac Avenue, hung a right heading towards Woody Point, and there's a massive big skate park there, and there's a heap of people at the skate park, so I was a bit of a show-off, so I'll stand up, pop a wheelie past the skate park. So I've ripped up the back wheel, and I'm wheeling down the road, and there was 2 cop cars at the skate park, and I wheelied straight past them. So straight away, sirens on, lights on, so I'm like, shit, so I just pulled over. I'm like, I'm screwed. Like, you know, I'd only been in Queensland like a couple of weeks, if that, or maybe a month.
3 hours.
Yeah, that's it. I'm like, I'm screwed. You know, what am I going to do here? So I just pulled over, took my helmet off, and just sitting on the footpath, like waiting. I'm like, yep, I'm in trouble this time. So they've come up and go, what the hell was all that about? I'm like, oh, I come around the corner, I'll give it a bit of a hit. She stood up, so I stood over the front, had to push it down, had to push the front end down a little bit. You know, didn't want to come down too heavy and pop me fork seal, so trying to, you know, do it as gently as I could. And they're like, oh yeah, whatever. I'm like, well, okay. Give me your license. I'll give me your license, and I'd changed to a Queensland license. So they've gone back to the car. About 10 minutes later, they've come back, chucked me license to, and they've gone, you've got a clean record. We don't understand it. You've got nothing on your name ever on your license. They go, look, just, you know, keep it under control. We don't like that sort of stuff around here, and just go home and behave yourself. I'm like, no worries, I'm out of here. See you later.
That's awesome to know. I bet they must have a record for each state.
So it must be completely different because, my record in New South Wales was terrible. It was horrible.
That's saved you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go back to the comments. So, yeah, it was Sandgate in New South Wales, yeah.
Yeah, so 2 different Sandgates. So, yeah, we got Sandgate up Queensland as well.
Yeah, they don't get too creative with the names. So yeah, Noodle said he knows the place in Sandgate. I think if you're from Newcastle, you know that place. That used to be pretty heavy on the skids in there. So I don't know. Yeah,
they used to have different records all linked now. Yeah. This was a while ago. I mean, it was funny. Like they never had license plate recognition back in the day. They never had any of this sort of stuff, you know. So
yeah, well, Matt's saying that it's only a couple of years ago they linked it all together.
Yeah,
which makes sense. Like because it's one country, so
yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, I reckon it should be sort of even like registration rules and things like that are different from state to state. So it's crazy. So
I remember going into Newcastle. This is way back when they had like there's an esplanade that you can drive along. It's along the water, and there used to be it's got like a two lane road, and then they've got a split off. And we called it Pit Lane, and everyone used to park along there, and that's where everyone sailed. I don't know if you've been there before.
I have been there once. A mate of mine lived in Newey about 20 years ago, and I remember that thing a lot. I remember this park on the waterfront there, and we went down to shitload of nice cars there. So,
so that's where we used to be on a Sunday. Yeah. And so there's like a roundabout at the Newcastle end, and then at the beach end there's another roundabout. So you just go roundabout to roundabout, and you park up in Pit Lane, and that was what we used to do back then. But they got speed bumps, and they've blocked it all off. Now they've fucked it for cars anyway.
Yeah.
But the roundabout at Nobby's, if you were in second gear in a Commodore and you turn and hit it, it'd go like a perfect lock for that car. So I remember I was doing 3 full donuts around this roundabout at the end of Nobby's, and I had my 2 mates there with me, and they all just like stopped watching while I'm going around. And there used to be a road, well, there is still a road that goes along the beach. It used to be 2 ways, and now it's only 1 way. I'm looking in the mirror at the smoke, and then I watched the smoke go blue, purple, red, blue, and I was like, oh, there's a cop in there somewhere. And I've come around, and the cop had stopped on the roundabout, and I've gone around him, and then he's gone to take off, and my mate's cut off in front of him, and then my other mate's cut off in front of him. By the time the cop got around them, I was already at the other roundabout. I looked left, and there was a cop car coming down from the police station, so I'm like, oh, they're coming. I kept going, and I get out of Newcastle, and I get back to nearly Sandgate, which is what we were talking about. That's normally a 20-minute drive, and I got there in 7 minutes. I was fucking out of there. And my mates, we didn't even really have phones back then. My mates knew where I was, and they pulled up, and one of them that was with me, his uncle was a cop in Newcastle. So he rings him and he goes, "Oh, hey, are they looking for any cars?" And his uncle's like, "Yeah, we're looking for a red VR sedan and a white wagon." And he's looking at me and he's like, "Oh, that's us." And he goes, "Oh, well, how long do they normally look for that for?" And he's like, "Oh, probably 3 or 4 hours." And I was like, "Okay, no worries." And we just ended up going home and didn't go back in there. But yeah, that was pretty close too. That was like next to them as I'm doing skids and still got away.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I don't know how I get away from this shit. Yeah.
Just lucky, mate. Just lucky.
Oh, dude, like dumb shit when you dumb shit then.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I got a couple of anyone from up Queensland here that lived in Redcliffe area around there, and you've got the bridge to go from over towards Sandgate, and the other side there you got the bridge, and it's 2 lanes each way. And I was coming home from work one day. Well, I used to work at Northfield Car Sound in Nunda down there. So I go to Sandgate Road, come across the bridge, and I'd always wheelie the bridge on my way home. It was so much fun, like big long bridge. I'd see if I could wheelie the entire thing. So I'm wheeling across the bridge on my way home, and I'm looking to the right, and there's a cop car coming across the bridge, but obviously they can't turn around to get you. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty safe here. But he must have radioed ahead because sitting at the other end of the bridge, there was another cop car waiting for me, and I'm like, so yeah. Flat out in between traffic, going through red lights on my way home, get home. Yeah, Hornybrook Bridge, that's the one. Yeah, Hornybrook. And so I'm stupid. I cut red lights in and out of traffic all the way. Pulled in the driveway around the back of the garage, lifted the back roller door up because I had a front roller door and then a back roller door. So I've lifted the back roller door, rode in, pulled the bloody roller door down, ripped on me jacket off, helmet off, threw it on the ground, legged it over the back fence and down to the beach, and just sat on the beach. And for about an hour and a half, just watching cop cars just lapping around and sirens going off and everything going crazy. And then, wandered back up the house. And my missus goes, "What have you been doing this afternoon?" And I'm like, "Just usual." And she's like, "Yeah, it makes sense." So,
it's crazy when they're trying to get you. They just hate losing someone. Like, they'll pump so many resources in to find you. You're like, "I did a wheelie, bro. Come on."
Yeah.
And they just smash you. I've been pulled over by like 3 or 4 cop cars at the same time, and I'm like, "Are you guys for real?" But
I was pulled over one night. Another one like out the front, almost out the front of my house. I'd been working late. It was a Thursday night, and I worked at Northfield in Redcliffe, and I was on the bike. So I left work, had a backpack on. I was tired as shit. Did nothing wrong on the way home. First time for everything, and I just riding home. I was actually under the speed limit. I was so tired. I wasn't doing anything dumb. Almost pulled into my street. Next minute, these cop cars, one in front, one behind me. Cops jump out, guns pulled on me. I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on, guys?" They come pull the keys out of the bike, told me to take my helmet off, empty my bag out. And they're like, "What have you been doing?" And I'm like, "Man, I just left work. Like, I work around the corner. I've only just left work. What's going on?" "Oh, we've been chasing a guy on a bike with a backpack, a similar Honda to yours with a backpack for the last couple of hours." And I'm like, "Man, seriously, it's not me." And they're like, "Oh, yeah." So they're radioing around. They end up ringing my boss, and they're like, "Have you guys just locked up the shop?" And the boss goes, "Yeah." It said, "No, the last guy's just gone home probably 10 minutes ago." And they're like, "Oh, does he look like this?" And they rattled off a description of me, and they're like, "Yeah, that's him. That's his name." And they're like, "Oh, sorry, mate, too." They gave me backpack back to me, and then they all pissed off. And I was on the side of the road like, "What the fucking hell is going on here?" You know?
That's funny. I got in the comments there, people are saying, "Yeah, we've done those same skids around that same roundabout," and then rattled off all the hot spots around here like Barrow and Thornton Industrial, which is where I live near, and Sandgate, Mount Sugarloaf, which is just a big mountain that they try and do speed runs up and down, which I've got a story about that as well. A couple of stories up there. And then Hez, which is, it's called the Hunter Economical Zone, and basically they built this massive new complex out in the middle of the bush and then ran out of money. So there's just this massive, they've laid all the roads, all the cul-de-sacs, everything, and there's nothing out there. I think there's maybe 2 buildings, but otherwise there's nothing out there. And the kids go out there and just, man, the kids can steer out there, I'll tell you that much. But that's where a lot of the accidents and stuff that have happened in the last 18 months have been as well. But it's kids that are, I think the last big one was a kid's doing 100-something Ks now and pulls a handbrake up in a Subaru, and that's not ending well for anybody.
Yeah.
But, it's funny, actually. So at Hez, it is red hot. There's always cops out there looking for stuff. People take cars out there and burn them out and all kinds of stuff. I got a story where I actually did burnouts with cops up there.
Yeah.
So mates ring me up Sunday morning. Hey man, we're bogged at Hez. And I'm like, where at Hez? Because it's sort of like a T. You go up and it splits and there's two big cul-de-sacs. They're like, you go up, go right, there's a cul-de-sac, and then, you know, you just go up the road a little bit and you'll see us up there. Now, I've gone out that way and I had that Sierra. Remember I told you Sierra with the GTI motor and it used to stop? So I've got this Sierra and it's a little weapon and I'm going off-road. We get there, no phone reception, can't find them, no UHFs, no nothing. So I'm like, oh, we'll just drive around. And there was a Ford Ranger bull box that followed me in and they've stopped. And then we've gone left and gone up a track and they just sat there. And then we've come back down and went past and then they followed us. And we got to the end of the cul-de-sac and I've gone up into the bush and it stopped at the end of the cul-de-sac at that track. And as I'm going up, there was dirt bike riders coming down and I'm flashing them. And I said, there's cops down there. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll be right. And they've gone down. And you see, as I've said that, they've gone around me. And the cop car had come around the corner because it's like thick bush. And they basically ran straight to the front of his cop car. And old mate's freaking out. He's dropped his bike. He's trying to start it. He's like running away up the hill and running past us. And I've turned around so I'm nose to nose with this cop car. And they've got away. The bikes are gone. Cops come up and they go nose to nose with me. And this blonde chick gets out. It's probably, I don't know, a sergeant. And then this young guy, and he looked fresh as. She gets out and she just pulls the smoke out, lights it, and goes, scared the fuck out of them, didn't I? And I was like, cracking up laughing. And she's like, what are you doing out here? And I said, oh, we're looking for our mate out here. And she goes, oh, I've seen you going up and down tracks. I've been watching you because we've been out here for an hour.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I don't know where our mate is. We can't find him. And she's like, well, I've got a winch on the front, so we could pull him out with that. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? She goes, oh, have you seen a Holden Rodeo that's been burnt out up here? And I said, I haven't seen anything burn out here. And she goes, there's a car out here that's been burnt out and we get 4 hours to find it. So we're just driving around. We've been up here for an hour. And we followed you for an hour. It's got 2 hours till we have to go home and try and find this thing. She goes, we might as well help you find your mate. And then we'll try and find this car at the same time. And I'm like, if she wasn't sitting there leaning like this with a cigarette in her mouth, I wouldn't fucking believe her. And I'm like, okay, well, no worries. Anyway, we kept driving. She got like a bit tipsy and stuck. And we ended up snatching her back out of this like thing because apparently they weren't allowed to use a winch. I don't know. They need a qualification to use a winch, which is crazy. But yeah, so we ended up snatching her out and she's like, oh, I'm not going to keep going because I'll get stuck. And she turns around and I'm like, oh, well, we're not going to find our mate. It's been ages. And she's driving down. We're following her. We get back down to the cul-de-sac. Now, the cul-de-sac's just covered in gravel because it's never maintained. And she gets on the brake and then starts sliding around in this cul-de-sac in a cop car. These full uniformed cops. She's into it, sliding this car around. And then I'm just like, okay. So I'm limiter first, limiter second, and I'm sliding. End up going past her sideways, whipping it all out the road in this little Sierra because it was a beast. Fuck, it could skid. And then she turns the lights on and like starts doing these ones, and then like beeps and flashes us, and then turns them off, and we just kept going. And she like when we turned left, she just kept going straight. And I was like, bro, I was with one of my mates. And I was like, no. What the fuck just happened? We just did burnouts with cops, bro.
With coppers, yeah.
He didn't give a fuck, man. I don't. Never seen her again.
Cops out there, right? There's some amazing coppers. There's some douchebags as well. But
oh yeah,
it's like anything, man. You can get good people and bad people in everything. So I had when I lived in Bateman's Bay, there was a copper there, Peter. He was an absolute legend, mate. Loved the dude. We used to ride bikes together. We hang out together. But he was a high patrol copper, and if you pushed your luck with him, you'd get in shit, but I knew I deserved it. But a lot of the times he'd let a lot of stuff slide, but he's the one that pinned me for the burnout in front of his shop and made a big joke out of it. We used to do a ride every year. People on here might know, but it's called the Snowy River Ride, and we used to ride from Bateman's Bay to Jindabyne. So we'd do a massive ride up through the snow, and that we'd spend like a week in Jindabyne and then ride home. So I used to do that with him. And we'd be cruising through towns and that, and people would be geeing him up to do wheelies and that. And he'd look at me, he goes, "You can do it for me." He goes, "Everyone knows I'm a cop. I'll get in trouble for it." So he just let me do wheelies and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bloody. It was awesome, man. He was the best copper ever. But tell you what, he knew where my shop was. We did skids at the end of the cul-de-sac there. It was always after hours. He knew we'd get out of town. But if someone stuffed up in town, you throw the book at them. But you can understand why. We're like, well, that's why you don't do it in town here. So yeah.
Well, Ruckus is saying try work with them. I've worked with cops for when I was in the army and I was getting deployed overseas, and that I was always working with international cops. I've worked with cops in about 14 different countries. That's fucking crazy.
Worked on cop cars at my shop in town. So yeah, actually, my shop in town at the moment, I've done 3 or 4 of the coppers' personal cars there, and I've done dash cams in a few of the cop cars for them too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, Phil said I should get her name so that she can spot us when the skids are on. Because we'll still go out there. That's funny. There was
another one here saying something. Do we still have cool cars or something? You see that comment?
We never don't have cool cars.
From Matt's here. Do we still have cool cars? Well, I think Jez has got a motor out of his, and I've got a motor in that's about to come back out again. So yeah.
Yeah, we just play ins and outs, whatever.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, we put it in and pull it out just for fun, Oh, I've got I got my insurance money for my bike the other day. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I got a money in my bank account, and the bike's sitting back in my shop now. So I got to decide what I'm going to do with it. So I must have got about 3 or 4 letters from Shannon saying this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, and then within 24 hours, man, money's in my account, and got all the paperwork for it. So I had to figure out. My plan was the HZ was done, then I could work on the bike, but bike will have to sit in the corner for a while I pull the motor out of the HZ and fix that and get it on the road again.
So you're going to have to put an LS in with your insurance money, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I've got enough to do that now.
Did you get those Facebook Marketplace LSs that I kept sending you?
Yes.
Yeah, you never wrote back, though. You never wrote back.
I was too upset. I was crying about it. So it's stupid, though. When I was looking for a motor for that HZ, I could not find a 253 or a 308 in decent condition for under 2.5, 3 grand.
Yeah.
Like, people just wanted so much money for them. So then I built that one, and now they're coming up daily. Like, LSs for 2 grand, 5 litres for $1,500, 308s running in that for $1,000. Like,
yeah, it always happens.
Never works out, eh?
Always.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Actually, I've got a funny story involving the police and my dogs. So, my mate had a charade. It was a piece of shit, man. Well, I called it 50 Shades of Red. It was a faded out old charade. And he sold it to me for $500. And I had 2 weeks rego. And I'm like, let's just go smash it. And we're driving in town and just being absolute menaces. Like, I'm crazy shit with this car. And I ended up driving it on the last couple of days of its rego. I drove it up onto a park. So at Elmore Vale, there's a shopping centre, and there's a bowl out the back where like your kids are on like a skate park thing. So I've gone up the gutter and I drove the charade to the edge of the bowl, and I had probably 3 or 4 mates there, and they were all really good riders. And one of the guys had a 50, and he was towing them in from the soccer field, and they were dropping into the bowl and then back flipping over my charade. So we had like 3 or 4 mattresses there, and then so you get a picture of the bowls here, the charade's nose to the bowl, and then we had mattresses on the boot and like down on the ground. Yeah. So they're coming in, they're flipping in and then back flipping over the car. I'll let you die alone with that.
Yeah, see, this is what Belly was saying. I gotta die in between your stories. Feel like shit, does this?
One of the boys has come short, so he's gone real high, come short, and he's put his back wheel of his bike straight through the back window of the car. So he smashed the whole back window, and the roof caved in, like the back there. And I was like, we were just laughing and cheering because this thing was fucked. They kept landing on the bonnet, and it had tyre marks all over the whole center of the car. Anyway, and I'm like, well, it's got 2 days rego left or whatever. Who gives a shit? So I drive this car back home, and I get halfway home. And when I mean we thrashed this car, it shouldn't have been on the road, man. We were like my mate would drive past. We were driving past like a telegraph pole, and he just opened the door, and the telegraph pole just smashed the door, smashed the door back closed. Like, we were thrashing this car. It was horrible. And so I get down the road. Cops see me driving out, and they turn around, pull me over, and I pull over. And they said, "You know you've got no back window, right?" And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, "Do you want to care to explain that?" And I said, "Oh, well, the boys landed on it on their bikes. They were backflipping out of the skate park and landed on top of the car." And they've gone over, they've had a look at the car, tyre marks all over it. And they're looking around, and they look at me, and they're like, "You're not kidding, are you?" I'm like, "No." They goes, "Pop the bonnet." So they popped the bonnet, and they went right over this car, because it had a cracked chassis from where we jumped it as well. So you could, if you turned left, you could hear it go bang, and the car would turn left hardly. If it turned right, it'd feel like it was falling over, and it'd turn right on the spot. The whole tower was torn off the body, and it just float. So they saw that first, and then they went over the whole car. Ended up getting 36 defects. I think one headlight was working, the wipers didn't work, no back window, 4 ball tires, like shit was missing, like no mirror, no this, no, and it was just gone. Like, his car was hammered. And they're like, they're laughing by the end of it. They said, "We've run out of paper. What we're going to do is you can drive home under our escort, and then we'll come back to you at the end of the week, and we'll give you the defect papers for the car. I don't think you should repair it," is what they're saying. And I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to." But back then when I was a kid, I didn't give a fuck about anything. So I was like, "No, these guys just smashed my car up," and I was so happy about it. Like, I just didn't care. So I take the car home, and I told Dad, I said, "Hey, Dad, can you..." Oh, okay, that's not the end of the story. Take the car home. They fuck off. And then I get out, get on my phone. I'm trying to ring one of my mates to pick me up to go in town so that we can just keep cruising around. And I'm on the bonnet of the car, and I'm jumping on the car as I'm talking to him on the phone. I hear this other cop car, completely different cop, pulls up, "Get the fuck off that car!" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." The thing is, I bought it for cash, $500 cash a week ago. It wasn't in my name. And so I'm jumping on this car. It's all smashed up. I'd kick the windscreen in and stuff too. Like, I'm kicking the windscreen. I'm on the phone. I would have dressed up like probably exactly the way I am now, like a little dirtbag. And I'm like, "It's my car." And the chick's like, "Get off the car." I'm like, "It's my car." And she goes, "Why are you doing that to your own car?" And I'm looking at this thing, man. It's fucked. I'm like, "Look at it. Why wouldn't you do it to this car?" Yeah. So then, anyway, she like goes to it, and she's like reading out my name. I'm like, "Oh no, it's not my name. I just bought it for $500." And lucky I had this crudely written receipt.
Yeah.
And so I had to explain to her I'm jumping on my own car and whatever.
Yeah, it's gone, so yeah.
She wanted to beat the shit out of me, but she eventually just left. And my mate wouldn't pick up anyway, so I rang Dad, and I said, "Hey, can you come pick me up from the scrap metal at Sandgate?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, what's going on?" I said, "I'm just going to go scrap my car." And he's like, "Okay." So I drove this charade to the scrap metal. I watched them pick it up and crush it and just throw it in a pile. I think they stole the battery out of it, dickheads. Yeah. And they gave me $36. And then Dad picked me up, and I went up the road, and I got a 10-pack of JD, and I went home, and I'm drinking.
Yeah.
And then the next day, so I had my little unit out the back. The next day, the same 2 cops rock up, and they knock on the door, or they knock on the gate, and my mum, who's like 4'11", she's sitting there gardening, whatever, and by this stage of my life, the cops would rock up at the gate, and she'd just go, "Oh, he's out the back." Like, so she wouldn't even ask why they did it. He's out the back. Now, I had those 2 staffies, right? Pig and Sarge. If you open that gate, they are charging out the front to see what's going on, right? So I walk outside. They open the gate. The 2 dogs are around the side of me going. And the cops are walking down the driveway, and I'm like, "Oh, fuck, these dogs are going to knock these guys over like we had to." And I'm like, "Pig! Pig!" And it's like, cops are like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Sarge," because there was a sergeant in the constable. I'm like, Sarge, get down!" And he's like going for his gun, and he's looking around. These 2 dogs come out, and my mum comes over and just grabs the dogs, calm as fuck, and goes, "That's the dog's names, love." And then walks off. And these cops have looked at each other, cracked up laughing, and they've got this massive thing of like paper, and they're like, where's your car, man? I'm like, I just scrapped it yesterday and went and got a 10-pack. And they're like, how much did you get? And I'm like, $36.
Yeah.
And they're just both cracked up laughing. And they're like, you are one of the wildest units we have ever met. And they've torn the paperwork up and just walked off.
There would have been more money in paperwork than you sold the car.
Bro, that's what I mean. Like, they rocked up, and I'm just like casual as fuck. Didn't give a fuck. I was like, oh, $36, and I'm shouting pig and sergeant to get down, and fuck, man. Like, now I think about that, that could have been a really bad situation.
Yeah.
But bro, that was.
That doesn't have a sense of humour. You'd be fucking getting beaten back then.
They were just two mad dogs, man. They just loved it. They were like laughing from the moment they met me a week before to then. They were just shaking their head laughing like this kid needs guidance, mate. He's guidance in his life. Fucking hell.
Oh man. What do we?
That's so funny. I've missed the comments.
I've missed a whole heap of comments
stories. That's
stories.
A long one. So
Al's one saying he got a high-speed police chase and lost his license for 4 years. That's mental, dude.
Oh really? He says nothing like the cops and pulling their guns. Passenger seat, 4 years, lost the license. I have the exact same story. Oh my God, this is getting crazy now. So I learnt to drive. My mate had a house up the road in Shortland, and I had a massive paddock out the back. And one of them used to drive speedway, because there was a speedway in Raymond Terrace. And I had like junior fender benders and all that. And he used to take Falcon. So we had a Corona, a Nissan Skyline, a 323 Mazda, which was just for smashing up out the back. And then we had 2 XDs and an XF Falcon. The XD had number plates on it still, and the rest of them didn't. So when we were 14, 15, 16, we used to take this car. Oh, we're probably 14. We used to take this car out and just drive around the streets at night time. And we eventually got a bit cocky and we've gone into town and stuff. And at Sandgate, they used to have like an RBT set up. So you'd come over the bridge at Sandgate, you come around the corner, and there was always an RBT set up. And then our house was just like the next set of houses, sort of in a swamp. There's a road that goes off the side and down along the train lines, and then you could drive along the train lines to another suburb and whatever. So we're driving, and we were all 14 in an unregistered old XD 4-speed fucking 250 Crossflow wagon. And I've gone, my mate's turned left to go down this track just before the RBT. And he's like hammering down this track. And I was like, fuck, bro, there's an RBT there. And he's like, where? I didn't see it. I was like, they're right there. Like, they're sitting there. As soon as he's gone down, the lights turn on and they start following us. So he's like, I'll reverse up. So we're halfway down the track. He reverses up and we go arse to nose with a cop car. And they're like, put the red and blue lights on. And he's like, it's real rough in there. Like, it's dirt. And they're in highway patrol. And he goes, fucking, we're going. So he's hit it. We're going first, second, third, smashing through this dirt track. And the cops, because there was 2 entrances, the cops must have gone to both. They've come around, and then we've gone nose to nose with this cop car, a different one. He spun the car around and's taken back off. The highway patrol are coming down. The other one's coming the other way, and we ended up getting pinned in the middle. And we're these 2 kids, like 3 of us actually. There's 3 of us. We've pulled up nose to nose with this cop car. Cops are behind us, and my mate, for some fucking reason, I think he just freaked out. He's like, get down. And he turned the lights off in the car, and we got down. I was like, oh, we were kids, so I didn't know what was going on. The doors all open, lights all come on, they got guns and shit. Get the fuck out of the car. And I'm like, what do we do, bro? Like, I said, on the count of 3, we're going to run in all different directions. I'm like, 1, 2, door opens, round the neck, pull us out, smash us on the ground, kicking the fuck out of us. And that was pretty interesting. So we're 14-year-old kids, they're holding guns to your head and choking us out, belt the fuck out of us, bro, and then took us home to our parents.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an interesting one. Never lost a license. We didn't have any licenses to lose back then. We were just little shitheads, bro.
Yeah, it was all the fun back then. We'd get away with it, you know. Like when I first got
Yeah.
my license, if you did a burnout back then, you'd get a $70 fine or $79 fine for undue noise or something. That's all they do. They never had burnout fines back then. I used to clock them up every weekend. I get 3 or 4 burnout fines, and it was like 70-something bucks. I'm like, no, it's worth it. You know, it didn't bother me. Defects and things like that. But I had a few stories about when I lived in Bateman's Bay. I lived out of town at a suburb called Long Beach, and there was a big long straight when you head out there. So on my way home, I just used to just rev the car out, you know, as fast as I could go, you know, 200 plus. Every afternoon I'd come home, bang, into it. That was my big long straight, and I used to love it. I had heaps of fun doing that. So if a high patrol cop drops in to see me one afternoon, he's like, where are you living nowadays? And I'm like, oh, because I've moved a few times in town. I probably moved 5 or 6 times. I lived in town. I went, oh, I'm living at Long Beach. He goes, yeah, I thought so. He goes, when you go home this afternoon, he goes, just do the speed limit. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
He's been watching you.
Yeah, well, so I'm driving home, music on, windows down, and I'm just sitting on the speed limit, come around the corner to pull into my street, and there's a couple of cop cars sitting out in front of my house waiting for me. So I line up, pull down the driveway, hop out of the car. First thing they said to me is, who told you we're waiting for you? And I'm like, no one told me anything. They're like, every afternoon we can hear this car coming down the street. We've had reports of this car speeding down the street. And he goes, this afternoon, he goes, we set up a radar speed trap and we've got another car here to arrest you when you got home and you didn't do it. Who said so? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, I'm just having a cruise Arvo, just enjoying the scenery this afternoon.
Yeah,
like, that one, so lucky, man, so lucky. But he come and warned me, so he's a nice guy. So, yeah.
He got done, riding the push bike without a helmet, and that's why he didn't have a license.
Oh, fucking hell.
It sounds more like Al's been a naughty boy and someone's really taking it personally with him, I think. Fucking hell, that's rude.
Yeah, man.
That's so funny. Oh, I think my last one would be, again, driving unregistered. Oh, not unregistered, sorry, when we were kids. I had my first car and I didn't have a license. I bought my first car because my dad was always in hospital and stuff, and my parents, they have a colourful history and had lots of health problems and other problems because of it. So when I was about 15, 16, I didn't really have dad around. I didn't have anyone around, and I wanted to go for my license. Didn't have anyone to teach me, so I ended up leaving bloody Woolworths one day and walking up the road because there was a VN Berliner up the road, and I gave this guy $1,000, and then I drove the car. Now, my previous driving experience had just been driving fender bender cars around the fucking paddock, so I'd probably spent more time sideways sliding a car than normally driving a car. I get in this VN, I was down at Jesmond, and I drove it to Walls End RTA, where I booked my license, and I went and sat my license, got my L's, and then I drove home. And that was basically at night time I'd learn how to drive. I'd teach myself how to drive. I'd go out at night time. We go everywhere, and I never put plates on, never put L plates or P plates on the car. We just cruised around everywhere. And it was a Berliner with tint, and that was sweet. So, I don't know how, I've never lost my license, man. I don't know how I've never been done, never lost a license, never had a massive accident. Just been lucky, I think. But yeah, so I was driving, and now some of my mates back then, a lot of them that aren't dead or in jail, grown up and they're good boys now, I guess, but they used to deal out of the public school at night time. And I was driving past in my car and I saw them there. So they were all hiding in this one spot. I saw them there, they saw me, and I've turned around and I've parked at the school crossing, and they've come down and they said, there's a cop after us, we're just hiding in the school. And I said, oh, no worries, like, do you just want to jump in and I'll take you somewhere? And no sooner than I'd said that, this cop car's come around the corner and he's pulled up across from me. Now I'm like 16 with my 14-year-old best mate, no license, and all these boys would have been trying to sell shit too. And the cops are just like pointing and they're like, don't fucking move. And I'm like, I'm moving. Drive. Go, we're gone. And so the boys have all ran everywhere. This cop passengers jumped out of the car as the driver's taken off. So he's like fallen out of the car and smashed himself in the gutter. And then the cops sort of taken off, stopped in the middle of the road, checked his mate, seen us going, and then taken off again. And he ran. So the gutters there, like really, they're the road's built up, so the footpath's real high, and the gutter's sort of down here. This cop's sort of, he must have got flustered going, my mate's fallen out, there's kids running that way, there's a car taking off that way, and he's just pinned it. And I was just looking in the mirror, and I watched this cop car stop, and it spun the wheels and went sideways and slammed into the embankment, and just got, like, watched the wheels twist off, and I was like, bye. Yeah. So I only lived 40 houses down the road. I've got down, pulled the car up. Me and my mate had got out, and we're like, "Fuck, what do we do? What do we do?" And we're waiting for like more shit to happen, and it was sort of quiet. And then my mates are ringing me, and they're like, "There's like 4 cop cars where you are now, and these other cop cars like up the embankment, like fucked up." And he's like, "Just come up and hang out with us, and we'll all like just pretend that we weren't here." So I've walked up with my mate, and as soon as we got there, we're just watching, and the cops are like, "You guys." And I'm like, oh, fuck, do they know who we are? And he's like, we're looking for a white VN Commodore, blah, blah, and we're looking for these boys, and I know that you know who they are, and blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I've heard of them, yeah. And he goes, well, you need to tell them to come up here. If you know where they are, you need to tell them to come up. We've got their number plates. We've got all their information, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, who is it? So I know. And he's like, you know who they are? And I'm like, he has no idea.
Yeah, just wanted you to say something.
I'm sitting there looking at you, talking to you, and you don't know it's me. And I was like, oh, no worries. Yeah, we'll find it for you, mate. And then we just sat there and watched this tow truck skull drag this fucked up cop onto the tow tilt tray, and then we just all went home.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. That was, yeah, man. Fuck, the more I think about it, I don't know. I've got so many stupid little stories from being a kid. Like,
I'm the same, man. I think about, like, the times that I've actually been done for stuff, and I think to myself, I'm like, I've done 100 bad things that are way worse than what I've been pinned for, so I'm just going to wear this one because, you know, if you had got me like, oh, I got done for 110 or 115, oh, geez, I could have got done for 200 the other day, so I'll wear the $110 fine. So,
Did I tell you about when I went to that house and I had the rifle in the back seat of the wagon?
No.
Okay, so this is back. We were like, our crew, when we were younger, we were in the newspaper and that. So this is 20 years ago. We're in the newspaper every week. There was like, it was a typical, we were just young rev heads doing skids. The boys were all dealing shit. They were trying to rap and make music and having all these stupid fights. It was just one of these, I don't know, I think we just thought we were legends and we're just misguided youths, basically. And, yeah, we got to the point where we were like 14, 15, 16, 17, and we all had like weapons. You'd have, I don't know, little pump action shotguns and automatic rifles and all this stupid shit. And we're just dickhead kids, like run around and we go and be idiots. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But one of my mates told me to go and pick him up from a house in Lambton or something. And I ended up driving over there, and I had a silenced semi-automatic rifle broken down. I've got a compartment in the Commodore that's in the back seat. So when you pull the seat down, it's got like a compartment and you can sit shit in it. Yeah, I had the rifle broken down in there, and I've gone to this house. I picked my mate up. He's jumped in, and we left. And we got to the end of the street, and there was a cop car sitting right waiting for us to leave this house. And I come around the corner, he pulls us over, we'll pull over, and I had my BMX bike in the back seat, and my mate's in the front seat, and the cop's like straight in my face. He's like, hey, mate, did you come from this house up there? And I said, yeah. He's like, oh, so I guess you've got some things in the car that you're not meant to have. And I didn't know what he was talking about, but apparently it was some big dealer's house or something. And I'm sitting there going, oh, I've got a fucking 22 automatic semi-auto rifle with 300 rounds right behind me. And I'm like, oh, I don't think so. I don't know if I should have that BMX in the back seat not strapped down. And he's like, he's looking in there. He's got his torch. He's looking all through the car. He's like, that's not what I'm talking about, mate. And I was like, I don't know what is going to happen here. I'm looking at jail or something. Car comes out. There was a VN statesman, VQ statesman, come out of the same street, same house, takes off doing a skid, probably saw that we were pulled over and was like, hey, fuck you, takes off, does a big burnout, and the cop looks, and it must have been who he was actually after.
Yeah.
He goes, have a good night, runs, jumps in the car, gone. And I was like, holy shit, man, what the fuck was that about? And I turned to my mate, and I'm like, bro, I've got a fucking semi-automatic rifle in the back seat here, broken down. And he's like, I've got like half a kilo of kid. I'm like, oh my God, man, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, I was just going to get some shit, blah, blah. I was like, don't tell me what you're doing. Like, I would never have gone to pick you up with all this shit in the car if you fucking knew what you were doing, man. Like,
fucking hell.
Bro, just dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
And here I am now, as a legit could be.
Yeah.
I joined the army after that and was a good little boy.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Well, Dad,
man, I drive around now. All my mates are like, geez, you got soft, you got old. You know, you don't do skids anymore. You don't do anything wrong. Like, just getting old. Still love it. I love watching people do it and shit like that. You know, it's awesome. But yeah, I think I'm too old for that nowadays.
Well, we went to 18th. I went to 18th last night and mucking around and having fun with the kids, and we had our kids there because it's family. So we come back probably 10 o'clock at night, wasn't too late. And me and Jazz we don't drink, so we just had Pepsi or whatever, but we were like dancing in the kitchen at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And the kids come in there like, oh, you guys are just like big kids. And I was like, well, believe it or not, how you feel right now as an 8-year-old girl is maybe not 8, but like we feel like kids. We're old, but we always think the same as you think. We feel the same as you feel. Yep. We're just getting older, and that's the difference. Like, it's the only difference. We can't believe we've got kids because we met when we were 14. Now we're 36, and we've got an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. This is crazy to us because we remember all the things we did back in the day, you know?
Yeah, man, I look at myself now, like I'm nearly 50, eh? Like I'm 48, so I'll be 50 in a couple of years, and I've got 6 kids, you know? My eldest is 27, I've got a 21-year-old. My daughters are 14 and 12, and my twin boys are 10. And I look at people that are my age and I think they're old. I'm like, oh, they're old. These old people, they're doing this and they're doing that. And I'm like, that's not, I don't see myself as an old person. I was talking to Jasmine after it, and I was like, I just realised now after that conversation with my kid that I always say, I'm looking forward to growing old with you. Yeah.
But that image in my mind is these 2 old people together in a park. And I'm like, but we are growing old together right now. Like, what I'm imagining is exactly what we're doing now every day. And it's crazy. Ruckus is saying what made me join the army. To be honest, my dad watching me turn into a loose little unit and go down the same path he went down. He did something like 11 years jail and basically guided me through how not to get caught. I think he sort of saw the way I was going and said, you have to join the army to get some discipline because I can't put it into you. And I joined because I just wanted to drive trucks. And I ended up passing some other really good aptitude tests. And they ended up putting me in as a mechanic. I did my apprenticeship through the army. And I got to drive trucks anyway. And I loved it. And I got to make actual real money and have actual responsibilities. I mean, I was 16, 9 months when I joined. The day that you could join, I joined. And I learned how to shave in the army. I learned how to fold socks, how to iron things, make my bed, anything. I had to learn everything in the army. The first time I drove a car properly, without thrashing it, learned to drive manual in the army. First time seeing snow was in the army. First time on a plane was in the army. It's kind of been the way I've grown up. Is having showers with 200 naked men and
That's a different life for that one, man. That's definitely a different one. Yeah.
Brendan saying, "Can I burp the alphabet?" I talk too much. I don't know how much air goes in and Pepsi comes out. I hate burping. I think it's disgusting, but
Yeah.
I can't help myself.
I'm sitting here snorting. I'm like, oh, stop snorting. What are you doing? But I keep trying to keep it all together.
Yeah, I've got a problem with my nose. I need to get it drilled out, but I've been on this stupid waiting list forever, so I can't. I've never been able to breathe properly, and I can't smell anything. Like my nose has never worked over the last probably 15, 16 years. So
That's what one of my twins has got, same thing, and he's talks real. He's different when he speaks, and he has trouble pronouncing his.
Like my voice is nasally because my nose has been blocked forever.
Yep. Yeah, so my 10-year-old, he's well, same thing. We're waiting on an operation for him to see if we can help him out with it. So yeah.
Yeah, Al's saying he's 18 years old with years of knowledge, 100%, man.
Yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm the opposite, man. Like my stepdad used to beat the living crap out of me constantly and hated me. So when I was 14, I ended up leaving home, and loved my mum. We used to go back to see my mum all the time, and I'd sneak back and see mum constantly. And but I lived on my own since I was 14, so I've always everything that I've done my whole life's been because of me. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that I used to think my parents were cool because they didn't stop me doing anything. They just let me do whatever I wanted to do. And I used to tell them what I was doing. So, like, you know, if we were in a police chase in that car and got the shit beaten out of us and held at gunpoint, I'd go home and tell Dad what had happened.
Yep.
He'd just go, "Oh, you all right?" And that was it. Like, and then he'd say, like, he goes, "Every time the cops come around here and they're looking for you, as long as I know what you've done, so that I'm not a dickhead when I'm talking to them, I'll make sure that I talk them out of whatever.
Yep.
Give you enough time to get out the back or whatever it is, you know, like." But eventually living that life too, hanging around with those kinds of people, you learn a lot about people and about snaky people and trusting everyone. And, you know, there was a lot of things that I regret doing when I was a kid because, you know, well, I say a kid, but I was probably early 20s, just things that I really wish I didn't do to other people as well. Yeah. And like I've never really gotten over the fact that I can't trust anyone. Yeah. I don't deep down trust anybody, and it affects me even in my adult life to the point where, you know, I work for myself. I can't have employees. Everything I do is like I don't ask for help ever. I've got so many people the last week going, "Man, why are you not asking for help? You're trying to get new customers, you're getting out on the road, and you're moving a workshop into storage at the same time." Like, I moved my hoist weighs 1.4 ton. I broke it down the other morning. I didn't want to, but I broke it down the other morning, lifted it all onto a car float, took it across town, and rebuilt it in this new shed by myself.
Yep.
One of those ramps weighs 690 kilos. And I broke it down with my fucking bare arms and put this fucker on the trailer and then rebuilt the whole thing. And I sent a photo to Jasmine at the end of the day in the new location. And she's like, "Oh, that's awesome. You know, who helped you?" And I was like, "What?" Yeah. I'm like, I used a jack and I used a lever bar and a fucking cantilevered shit on, and I took it, and then I took the top arms off, slid the ramps on, bolted them on, and I just slowly drove the trailer forward and built the hoist as I went. Yeah. And that was done. It took me 9 hours or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same. I struggle. I don't trust anybody. I have trust issues with everybody, and I hate asking for help. Like, I'd rather do a 20-hour day than get someone in to give me a hand. And even when I had my employees, like, I put Jack on, and I didn't want to because I tried people and I just couldn't. Their work was terrible. This wasn't. And then Jack was brilliant, and I didn't want to put him on. And then when he left, I'm like, man, I don't want to do it again, you know.
I know that hurt you.
Finally opened the shop up and teaching someone and doing things the right way, and it was working. And then he leaves. I'm like, that's why I don't want to put someone on and do anything like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I know that hurt you a lot.
Belly's on there saying, "Oh, I know how it is, Wizard." No, not you, Belly. It's different, you know. Like there's mates that come around, and I don't have don't have a heap of friends, but I got a lot of acquaintances, if that makes sense. Like a lot of people know me, a lot of people will come into the shop and have things done, but I don't have a lot of mates. Like I've got no one that'll come to the house and have dinner with us, or I've got no one that I'll hang out with on weekends and things like that. Really, so it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, my pool's green now. I mean, we had a storm that wrecked the thing, but wrecked the filter and that. But my pool's green. My house is gross. No one comes over. Like it's all over now, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Robbo, how you going, brother? I need to come out and see you next week, don't I? We need to go sort this VS out, I think. If it comes to VS Commodores, I'm probably the person that you need to talk to anyway.
Yeah. I've actually seen a VS with an LS6 speed at the other for 10 grand.
Yeah, they're getting cheap. Yeah. Mickey boy, would we trust him? Would we trust Mickey? I seen him borrow some 10 and 11 mil spanners out of a spanner rack the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Oh man, we're doing the same thing. I keep missing all the comments again, and we got off track again. We're doing our police special, and we got off track again. So,
look, I don't think I've got any more. I
think we've gone through them all. I got a couple of small ones. Just
go for it.
Oh man, this is back to Al. Remember, cruising the main street of Wagga. Used to drive up and down there constantly. And you just lap me. You fill your car full of your mates, crack the stereo, you just drive up and down all night. You know, that's what we did back in the day. And you know, just drop skids every now and then, have a good time. But I went out one night with all my mates in the car. When we got pulled over, we must have got pulled over 7 or 8 times, man. And they were pulling over. They were going through the car. They were trying to defect me. They were trying to find me. My mates had been drinking, but I hadn't. And they kept putting me on the breathalyzer. And they'd pull us out of the car. And they'd go through the car, put us back in. At the end of the night, one cop said to me, he goes, "If I see you out tonight, mate, I'm taking you to jail." And I'm like, "No worries." So I drove home. Went, "Fuck it, I'm going home." Went home and the chick I see at the moment, at the time, her dad's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, mate, fucking coppers told me not to be out driving." And he goes, "Have you been drinking?" I went, "No." He goes, "Have you done anything wrong tonight?" And I'm like, "Not tonight." I said, "Boys had a few drinks. We're just cruising, music on, windows down, having a great time." And he goes, "No worries." He goes, "Get in the passenger seat." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Jump in the passenger seat of your car." And he goes, "I'll drive it down there." So I'm like, "Sweet." So drive back down, pull into the main street. We'd pulled in the main street and straight away lit up by the cops, pulled us over. Cop comes to the window, flashlight out, shines it in the driver's seat. He goes, "I fucking told you," and looks, and it's the girlfriend's fucking old man. He goes, "What did you tell me, mate?" And the cops go, what's going on here?" And he goes, "Oh, you're harassing these young blokes. They're not doing anything wrong. They're having a good night." And he goes, "Oh, no, that's not what's going on." And he goes, "You pulled him over so many times. He's done nothing wrong. You went over his car." He goes, "This is just bullshit, mate."
Yeah.
And, so that was, he stood up for me, which was pretty cool. So, yeah, it was funny. That was awesome. But, yeah, I got harassed so many times in Wagga. And then when I lived in Bateman's Bay, we used to cruise around town and we got bored. So we'd go to up Ulladulla and up to Mollymook and like, just cruising. It was about like 45-minute drive away from where we were. We went there and I had a green Maloo ute at the time. Had a stroker motor and it was off its head. It was heaps of fun to drive around in. So
you've had some good shit.
Dude, man, I've had some wicked cars. I should find I've got photo albums of cars. That's how old I am. So I'll find the photo albums and show you. But so we went cruising up there and we were dropping skids all night long. And same thing, got pulled over by the cops. The cops going, "Look, we don't want you in our town. You're causing shit. Just piss off. We don't want to see you back in town again." So the next day, Mrs. is going, "Oh, I've got to head to Ulladulla to do some shopping with my girlfriend." I'm like, "Sweet, here's the keys to my car. Take them Maloo." So then she gets home that night. She goes, "Something you want to tell me about what happened last night?" I'm like, "Why is that?" And she goes, "I got pulled over by the cops and got the 3rd degree." And I went, "Oh, that's got to suck, doesn't it?" I said, "Did they do you for anything?" She goes, "No, they didn't do me for nothing. Just pissed me off." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's all right then." Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I copped it off the cops and I copped it off my missus at the time. So, yeah.
Oh, look, I haven't had any bad experience with cops for a long time, and I think it's just because I got a little bit of a name, not really for myself, but like the crew that I was hanging around with.
Yep.
You just cut ties with that, and they're just, in the end, they're just people. So,
yeah, they are. They are.
And you talk to them like they're just people, and they talk to you. Like I've had some where they want to be a smart ass and stuff like that. And yeah, I just stopped really talking. I was like, I think the last time I got a cop was like, oh, why are you driving like a dickhead or anything like that? And I was like, I was just speeding, mate. Like, oh, well, he starts going on. And I said to him, I said, man, I'm not going to, like, bite at any of your police talk. I know what you're doing. Like, I know you're trying to get me to say something, and I'm just not going to. And then he completely changed his tune. And by 5 minutes later, we were bloody hands on the shoulder laughing about stuff, you know. Still fine, me the fucker, but yeah, it was fine. I was doing double the speed limit.
Back in the day, man, like, and it does come around the people you hang around and the attitude you get towards them, because I don't know if you're showing off to your mates or something, like, fuck the cops, don't give a fuck them, what are they going to do type of thing, and, oh, look how cool I am, I told that copper off and stuff like that. And nowadays you get pulled over for a breath test, no problems at all. Like, I've got my Harleys, I love my Harleys, and I don't ride with the club. I used to ride with a couple of clubs, I don't anymore, just no association with anybody at all anymore. But I remember one day I got, this was probably about 10 years ago, I jumped on my bike and I was going for a ride just on my own. So I put my vest on, plain vest, nothing on it at all. Going for a ride just to go and just go and have lunch somewhere. Get pulled over by the cops, man. They read me the riot act, man. They're like going over the bike and they're into me, who do you ride with, who do you associate with, and all this sort of shit. And I just went, no one, here's my license, check it. You know, I've got no associations, no nothing. And they come back and they said, oh, we've seen you, this bike's been with such and such, like whether it be one motorcycle group or another motorcycle group. And I said, look, when this show's on, I might ride to a show. I might take a few people there. I said, I ride on my own. I don't ride with any other people. This is just something I really enjoy on my own. And, that's why I just ride on my own nowadays. So when I get the bikes out, I'm usually on my own. Respect for the cops. Like, here's my license, mate, no problems at all. And I haven't had any trouble. Probably, over 10 years now. I've been pretty good boy. So yeah,
loving the comments. Everyone, like 333 stroker, man. That was That was a cheap kit they used to do back in the day with like Chevy rods or something. I think it was.
Wasn't it the 304 to a 333? Because I had a 333 in a VNSS that I bought off a dude from Sydney.
Yeah, one of the boys was talking about a VNS in his first car. Yeah, it was. I think it was the 5-litre block, but they put Chevy rods in it, like the 5.7 rods.
Something crazy, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. It's something like that, but it's definitely the people you hang around with. Like, I used to get pulled over every time I drove in town because I was hanging around with this group of guys that, like, it's funny because I hang around with them now, street racing, but back then I was like, I had a 5-litre and I wasn't in that world, so they're out doing all this stuff, and I was just being a dickhead and doing skids. I think the last time I got done was out of that Hez as well. This is actually a funny story because I was out there again. I'm in the Commodore, and everyone had, when you go along, there's a cul-de-sac, and everyone used to park in the cul-de-sac, and you come in and you do a skid and leave and whatever you were doing. They're all parked up, and then we had 2 VKs, both with engines out the bonnet. There was a VY with nitrous. There was really big turbo chasers and stuff out there. And so I'm doing skids. I'm just hooping my car around. And one of the tyres went to metal, and the other one was like leaking. It wasn't blown, but it was leaking. And I was on good behaviour then too, from fucking being a dickhead in that Sierra, getting done speeding. So I pulled up in the cul-de-sac and turned around, and I couldn't park anywhere because the cul-de-sac was full of cars. And a highway goes past, and then you see brake lights, and then it reverses back, and I'm like, oh dear, my car's sitting there with the windows down, smoke billowing out of it, and it had been already 5 minutes. The car was turned off, and, good behaviour, whatever. So the cop pulls up nose to nose with me in the middle of the cul-de-sac, and then all the cars are around, and everyone's sort of just, what do we do? Where do we go? He gets out, highway patrol sergeant. He goes, everybody go to your car, pop your bonnet, get your license out. And we're like, oh, this is going to be real shit.
Yeah.
So he goes to the first car, what motor's in this? and this is the VK, one of the VKs. He goes, looks like a 350 Chev. And he's like, yeah, it's a 350 Chev, and it's got the hat on the top, and he's talking about, he's an engineer. He's like, oh, I don't have it engineered and don't have the papers. He goes to the next one. He's like, oh, what motor's that? And then he goes, oh, I see you got some nitrous hooked up on this SS here, and where's your bottle? And then he starts going, oh, you probably shouldn't put the bottle there because it's dangerous if you have an accident. You shouldn't have it on the street anyway. Yeah. And then we're like, okay, this guy starting to not care too much. He's going around. He goes to the chaser. He's like, oh, how much power does this thing make? And the guy's just talking about, and then he starts talking his whole build about his chaser. And the cop's like, yeah, that's real tidy, blah, blah, blah. He walks over to my car, which is after 5-10 minutes, still has whiffs of smoke coming out of it. Goes to the back tires. He looks at me and he gets my license. He's looking at it and he's like giving it off and scanning it. And he's like, good behaviour, eh? And I was like, yeah, I'm well behaved. Yeah. Like, well, looks like I missed the skid. And I was like, yeah, I think you did. There was definitely skids going on before, but, it could have been anyone driving. And he's like smiling at me. And then he goes up to the back tyres and he said, oh, these tyres are pretty bald. And I said, you know what? I'm actually really fucking pissed off because these were brand new this morning. And I'm taking them for one drive and they're down to the stitching. I don't know who I'm going to talk to, but I'm going to send a letter to Dunlop about like the longevity of their tyres. He's a fucking absolute crock of shit. And he's just slowly smiling as I'm banging on because I'm like, well, I don't think he cares. And he's like, if you've got a mate, he goes, there's 3 Commodores here. Every one of you put a spare tyre on the back of this thing, and you've got 15 minutes, and I want you to haul out of here. And so he just fucking let us all go, man. We all closed our bonnets and just left.
Hell yeah.
That was,
that's good.
He was a legend, and but that's back, this is around the same time as I was doing burnouts with that other cop.
Yep.
In the same area. And then since then, the kids have got wild. They smash up the place up there. They having crashes and hitting people. And so now those cops go in there and they just fucking hammer everyone. And I don't blame them. Like, I think the worst thing, actually, there's a guy with the chaser. I won't name him because this is going to go online, but I still talk to him every now and again. Where the runs used to be, where they used to street race, because there was nothing around, there was like all these drains that were alongside the road. And one of the boys was putting an E85 in the car, and he had a jerry of like 98. So I was draining the fuel out into this other jerry, filling it with the E85. And he's like, oh, we should pour it down the storm water drain and just see what happens. So he's poured 20 litres of fuel down the storm water drain, and it stank, man. Like everywhere you walked, because it's all new complex, all walking around like talking, and it just, the air stank like fuel, and you could see the shimmer coming out of all the drains, like the fuel shimmer. And I was like, fucking, what have you done? He's like, oh, I just poured 20 litres of fuel down there. And he goes, we should light it and see what happens. And I was like, and we were sort of like, well, I mean, what can happen? It's all underground, like who cares? And so they ended up getting a rag and they've lit it and they're like trying to throw it and it wouldn't go in the hole, and we had like 3 or 4 attempts. And I'll never forget this. It was the craziest noise. He's thrown the rag down into the drain, and we watched it because it was like on fire. It's gone down into the drain and it went out. Like it went just like, we thought it went out. And then there was like this roaring thunder noise. It was like all this air was getting sucked into the drain. So it was like going, sucked all this air into all the drains, and it just went boom, 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 boom. It blew a flame, maybe a 6-foot flame out of about 20 drains the whole way down the road.
That's one way of clearing it out.
Yeah, man, and then it just went boom, 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 boom. That was crazy. And then that was at Curry. It ended up being on Facebook. Oh, these big explosions at Curry. No one knew where they came from. And I was like, fucking hell, that's crazy. I think we went and did that another 10 times, and we worked out. He goes, oh, I put 60 litres down there once and lit it, and it just sort of fizzled out. He goes, 20 litres, stoich. And I was like, yeah, man. We put 20 litres down. And he goes, you go 20 litres, wait 5 minutes. And then, like, we'd line the cars up to run. And sometimes there'd be cars running. And there's fucking flames popping out of the drains as they're driving. Bro, anyone in Curry, like, 10 years ago would remember every couple of weekends, massive explosions. If you didn't know where it was fucking Hez.
That's it.
And you'd see, and there was also, I think if they did 30 litres, where they used to light it up, and they'd go boom, 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 and go down the road, and then you'd see, like, flashes through the bush in the other cul-de-sacs where there's flames coming out those roads too. Fucking crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, oh, it was wild. That was good fun, that.
Hell yeah.
I think the reason that he did that was they did it to where they live. They had one of those drains. This is great. They had one of those big sewage drains where they live. So it was in the middle of their backyard. So like, it's just in the sewage line. And we were at a party one day, and his girlfriend is inside the house, and where all the boys are outside in the fire, and they poured the fuel down down the hole in the lid. It's like that little metal hole where they put the tool.
Yeah.
They poured that down there, and he was like, "Do you reckon if we light it, we'll lift the lid?" And I was like, "Fucking, I don't know. I don't care." So we all get out of the way, and he's thrown like a match down the hole, and it's gone boom, and then we heard all this screaming inside. She was on the fucking shitter. And it's gone boom, and the water has gone up her ass and went between her legs, all over her phone, all over the fucking roof. And it's like 3 or 4 people come out of their house, and they're all looking and they're like talking about their toilets blowing water.
Yeah. Oh, that's too cool. Oh shit. Oh, too much fun.
Oh, bro, this girl has got, like, she must have been Facebooking and something. It's just gone, whoosh.
Going in it. Like a movie.
And that's where we got the idea to take it, the 20 litres, and like, because they kept changing fuel in this house, and we're like, what are we going to do with all this fucked fuel? And then they're like, oh, imagine pouring it down the drains out there and lighting it, and we'll see if we can knock the lids out. And that's where it started. And then slow these flames up. It was the sickest thing, man. It was cool fun.
Sick.
Oh,
man. What do you got here? Buddy, Al was saying South Coast Nationals, yes. Yep, Al remembers that one, Bateman's Bay, the old South Coast Nationals. You know, Lee put it on, Lee and Debbie. They were awesome people, man. I went there every year from the time they started till I missed their very last one because I didn't have a bike finish at the time. But yeah, I had a blast. I had a HJ. It was called Tequila Sunrise. It was in Street Machine magazine a couple of times. Actually, I can't remember. I got the copy of it there, and on the front cover of the Street Machine's a bright yellow 54F truck, I think it is. And then I've got like 4 pages in there. We did a shoot in Bateman's Bay with it, but it was funny. Yeah, we ended up, so we got Tony Ribetti from Street Machine come to town to do the photo shoot. So me and all my mates are hanging out. He goes, oh, yeah, usually give us, 2 or 3 hours, we'll do a full photo shoot. We must have spent 12 hours with this dude, man, just driving around. He's hanging out the back of the car, like hanging out the windows, open the doors while I'm driving. And we got him to block off the main street of Bateman's Bay, and we got to back up out the front of this new shopping centre they built. They put boards out and let me back up on the footpath, and I had the best time ever. And it was a blast, man. And then I think it was about a week later, I was driving on the way home. I got pulled over by the cops in it, and the cop that pulled me over saw the photo shoot and wanted to have a look at the car. So he's pulled me over on Beach Road in Bateman's Bay, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, flashing lights sitting behind me, and then got out and he said, oh, do you mind if I take a couple of photos of your car, the cop car behind it and that? So he's there taking photos of my car. My phone's blown up, and everyone goes, oh, what'd you get done for? Oh, cops are taking photos of your car now. Oh, how many suspects did you get? And I'm like, nothing. The cop just loved my car and wanted to take photos of it. So, yeah, man, it was a blast. So.
Well, last time I went street racing, actually, I nearly had a T-bone with this cop, and thinking about it, she was a short, blonde thing as well. And I'm like, I wonder if you're the one that was on burnout with that Curry 10 years ago. But it was we used to go street racing. If we can't go down to the drag strip, you go street racing on Origin nights because it's always everyone's off the road, like it's just
yeah.
So last time I went out, I had the nitrous bottle in the back, 255 semi slicks, and you've seen the gauges in my car. It's 3 gauges, and it's probably 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just heading out. I haven't seen a car on the road since I left the house. I go onto the main road, and she's hammering along in one of those Chrysler 300 SRTs, and we're sort of going the same speed. And I went straight out in front of her, and she hit the brake, and I've gone around her, and then started driving up the road, and I saw her do a U-turn. I'm like, oh, I'll just fucking pull over. So, oh, it's a mini-me.
Mini me. Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah, mini me. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Leroy in that big gold Stato. Yeah, so I pulled over, and she's pulled up, and she's like, oh, you nearly ran into me there. And I said, honestly, I'm just cruising. I didn't see you. She said, where are you going? And she's got the torch out. She's looking at the gauges. She looked down, there's fucking missile switches on the car. And she's looking, and there's semi-slicks on the back. And she walked around the car, and she's looking at the nitrous bottle in the back. And I'm like, just going to leaving my mate's house for Origin. And she's like, oh, okay, fair enough. Well, this is a nice car, so you should probably look out for everyone else on the road. You would hate to crash it. And then she gets in the car and fucks off. And I'm like,
holy shit.
What the fuck is chicks just 11 o'clock at night? Drag slicks, there's rubber up beside the car, nitrous in the back. Nice car, see you later.
Yeah,
And then I got out there, I told the boys what happened. And he was from Raymond Terrace, I think. And the guy goes, oh yeah, she like this tall blonde bob. And I was like, yeah, that's her. And he goes, yeah, she did the same thing to me last week. Pulled it over, had drag radials on it, and she just said nice wag and then let him go.
Oh yeah.
He's just checking the cars out, I guess.
Car chick, man. She loves cars.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it is the same chick. I mean, it would be 10, 15 years, so I don't know what she looked like, you know?
Yeah.
So,
hell yeah.
Maddie's saying it must have been nice to make Street Machine. I've only made Street Machine from, like, I think Power Cruise. They did a thing on all the cars at Power Cruise Sydney a few years ago, and I had my VS down there, and I was just being the loosest unit I could, and I made the centerfold page of the Power Cruise tour cup. So I'd have like all the little photos and then the numbers down the bottom, and that said main. It said unknown. This VS wagon was into it all weekend, and I was like, fucking oath, I was.
Yeah.
They didn't do it right up. They just went, this guy's loose.
Yeah, yeah. I was lucky. I got so when I built mine, and we went to Summernats. We used to go to Summernats all the time from like 1988 or Summernats 88 onwards. I was always going. So, and yeah, finally built my car and I took it up there. And the first year I went there, I got Real Street, top 10 Real Street. And then I got Show and Shine Standout Trophy and actually won a heap of silverware with it, man. I won so many trophies with that car. But I got in the Street Machine magazine, did like a Summernats edition.
Yeah,
I got in that one year, and then that's when I got a phone call from Street Machine doing a shoot on it. So I got a full shoot done up on it. And then the next year when we went back, we got in the Street Machine magazine again. So I ended up getting in there with that car, I think 3 or 4 times. So it was one was a full shoot, which was really, really cool, and the others were just a Summernats edition. So I ended up getting in there a couple of years in a row, which was bloody awesome. I even got in Picture magazine back in the day. They did a Summernats thing on there, and heaps of photos of my car in it.
in which magazine?
Do you remember Picture and People magazines back in the day?
Yeah, I saw you in there in Home Blokes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Bringing your wizards rod around. Leaning against your, what's it called? Tequila Sunrise.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. No, you got to do something to get famous nowadays. So, yeah. Oh. And then, what else do I have done? Now, mainly bikes, man. I've been lucky. I've actually got... So I got my last Softail in Ozbike magazine. I got a photo shoot actually at the front of my house here on the waterfront, and I got to have my kids in it and everything. And then my bike that just got written off, it's actually been in Live to Ride magazine 3 times. It's been on the cover twice. So yeah, it's might be time to try and build another decent car maybe. Hey, Zed's just a throw together, and it's never going to be a show car. I just want to be a weekender, but. I don't know if I got it in me to build another show car. So yeah, I don't know if I can build another show car, man. There's so much effort goes into them, and they're just a pain in the ass. Although my HJ, I used to drive it. I did it in burnout comps. I used to drive it all the time. You know, I built it to show it, but I still wanted to enjoy it. So
Well, that's another thing. Like
maybe a hot rod when I retire, 100 years' time.
yeah, hot rod would be different. I don't think I'd suit one. I don't know what I'd suit. I don't know.
I reckon a wagon with an LS in it. That's a bit of you.
Well, it seems to have evolved that way. I was never meant to spend that much money on that car. I always wanted I wanted a VN Calais. And I ended up spending so much money on this thing that I just fell in love with it, and I've kept it for 16 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rack is the same. He was in Live to Ride for 01.
Hell yeah.
I only know girls that have been in Live to Ride, and it's not because they have bikes.
Yeah. They got motors though.
Yeah. Sure, show us your motor. Yeah, Matt's talking about street radial tires. So what my tires were what's the brand? They were Hero drag radials. Raiden or something, Raiden Heroes. And there's another brand that they've been getting out they're pretty similar. Yeah, they're got tread in them, and I'm pretty sure they're street legal as far as I know. I mean, yeah, all of the boys when we go up to the pie run and stuff at East Maitland, all of the boys that go for a party have radials on the back. You just know what kind of night it's going to end up being. And I've never heard of anyone getting done except for full slicks. Actually, I've seen guys get done for front runners, but not the actual drag tires on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a mate of mine that got done a few times for front runners, and they're just saying that the wheel doesn't have a weight rating, so that's the reason that they fucking get done for. Yeah.
Matty's on here saying he's just built a 5-year build on a Toronto, man, with a carbide LS in it. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, PSR, that's it. The PSRs, they're the other drag tires. So the PSRs and the Heroes. The Heroes were, I think it was RJ Industries were trying to get into the market, and they were selling two tires for $450 or something, and now they're like $500 a tire. So I just jumped on them, and they were the best tire ever. Like I had to readjust my doors every time I drive the car because they grab the road so hard, and with the lock diff, it's such a difference. Like you'd reverse out. I've got 2 5.5s on it now, just a street tire. And you drive that around, and it's got 35 spline axles. So with the normal Commodore, they usually do that like choo. This thing is just a constant screech because there's no clearance in the 9-inch. It's just solid as. And then you put those drag radials on, and the stolly goes up another 500 RPM when you're trying to move, and the whole thing twists, and then it goes, and you're like, wow, they are fucking sticky, man. They're not even hot yet. Crazy. I'm scared.
I think I need to build another fast car, but I don't know. Actually, what I need to do is I need to get a motor that's got oil pressure in my own car, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I ran 2 7.5 Mickeys. The first time I actually used those tires, because that's something that everyone wanted to run. So I used the Mickeys on the street, and they were fucking hopeless. They made a lot of good smoke, but they were shit on the street.
What size rear wheels you running on at 15s?
Yeah, just got chasers. So the diff is shortened, I don't know, 3 inches each side. And then I got VZ, like Ute wheels. And then we just cut and flipped the actual wheel around. So it's still the same width rim, but the center is all the way in.
Yep.
So I don't know if I can get it out and show you what I mean. So the front is standard. So if you look from that angle, that's the standard like 6. And then on the back, it's got a 7, but the center's pushed all the way in. You can see that.
Yeah.
And the wheel studs, they're 1/2 inch forward by like 2 or 3 inches extra long. So, the studs are massive on it. But yeah, we consider 2 5.5s. They only sort of just fit in there.
Yeah, I was looking at the top. You say it's not much clearance. So.
Nah, there's nothing on it. You can see all the rubber on the back of the guard there where I just smash it every drive. Yeah. Got the leaf blower behind it so I can clean the fucking shed when I get the car back in the shed. Blow all the rubber out of it. But yeah. So it doesn't, with those 255s on the back, it doesn't even know they're there, just fucking destroys them. But with the slicks, man, it's it feels like the car's lifting when you're trying to turn. I'm scared that I'm going to pull the floor open on it because I've done that before. I didn't do it, but a mate of mine pulled his floor open when we had his car in a car park at Jasmine, and we're just like doing hits because we figured out that the car would do wheelies if you hit it at a certain speed, and it fucking pulled the floor open and the whole rear end shifted, and then we had to skull drag it onto a trailer at underground Jasmine car park. Fucking funny.
Oh, dude. Right. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's getting a bit late.
Yeah, that's what I say. You want to? We might call it for the night anyway. But no, I've had a good night. You know, we had some stories. We had some good stories of other people and that. So
yeah, I love everyone's stories. I love everyone's comments, man.
Yeah, so, man. We got to sit there like it's hard. Like I know I've got my glasses tonight, so I'm sort of struggling reading the comments. But yeah, man, it's cool. We can sort of get carried away, and yeah, it's good talking to everybody in here. I'm really enjoying it, bro.
Yeah, and we've got the guys that watch pretty much every week now. And
everyone gets involved in it too, which is cool. That's what we like. We like everyone's comments in there and tell us what you got or what you've been up to and stuff. You know, I enjoy that. It's good to talk to other people, you know.
A big shout out to Phil and Al. You guys are both in here.
Oh, yeah, Al's always on here, Phil. Yeah, definitely. Aaron still in the comment here as well? So, yeah.
Yeah, Matty, man, we normally do a Friday night live every Friday, and then do have some guys that can't watch, and we're doing so. We did Saturday tonight just for personal reasons, but yeah, it's getting recorded at the same time, and we'll throw it on YouTube. So if you see the lives, you can still watch it on YouTube, and you can write the comments that you miss out on tonight. Right in the comments there. So troll the shit out of us. Feed us, we don't mind.
That's it, man. Get in there some fun. That's what it's about. And enjoy it, you know. Get rid of the stress of the week, man, and just get it all out for the weekend. So,
well, I'd say by the end of next week, I'm going to push pretty hard. I won't be in my old shed anymore. So,
well, that's right. You're out, aren't you, as of this week?
20,
The 20 something, yeah.
I think the last couple of TikToks I've even made, because I've been pretty quiet because I've just been so busy, have been me out on the road doing compressors on trucks and bloody power steering shit.
Mate, my last few have been a bit on the downer, unfortunately. I sort of I got a little bit down over the bloody motor in my HZ, but and then I sort of come to the realisation the other day, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just pull a motor and put it back together. So, you know, it's might make a couple of good videos out of it. So taking something bad and turning it into something good.
I think so too. Yeah, definitely. So
100%, man. Yeah, but no, we'll definitely be back. We'll try. Friday night seemed to be a good thing for us, so we might try and kick off on a Friday night again.
Yeah, I love it either way. I think Al's hurt himself. Al's said something about Subarus being good or something. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about, Al. You might need to go and get yourself looked at, mate.
Yeah, it's it. Subarus and head gaskets and all sorts of things are wrong with the one. So
yeah. Subarus and lesbians, that's all they are.
yeah. No, my old HZ, like, I've been building that for about 10 months now, and had it all registered, done, finished, and then first drive around the block, pull in the shop, and oil light comes on and off, and I'm like, oh no, like what the fuck? So it is.
Al wants to take us for a drive in his Subaru Brumby.
Oh, I've been in a few Subarus that actually impressed me how well they go. So, but I've been in some cars that, you know, actually. So I bought my daughter, a mate of mine, Rex Cars in Canberra, and he got my daughter. She wanted a Beetle, a new Beetle. So he found her a Beetle, and he actually delivered it to me 2 weeks ago. And I've been driving that thing around, and geez, it puts a smile on my face, man. You know, you just drive around this tiny little car that handles like a go-kart and makes all the spoolie boy fucking turbo sounds and boy racing shit. Yeah. But it's been, you know, it's got some knocks and rattles, a bit of an all to it, but man, it's a bit of fun. So, yeah.
Al said something about blowing the CV at 20 PSI or something.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah. Oh.
He wants to give me a run. Where are you at, Al? I want to know.
Al, you're in Wagga still, or where are you at the moment, man?
Oh, that's a sexy noise, Jez.
Sorry, bro, my bad. Oh, I'm surprised I'm still awake. I thought I was going to pass out halfway through this. So,
Well, I actually, no word of a lie, I had to call him and wake him up before the live.
I had my phone beside me. I looked down and went, "Oh, hang on, Jesus, I'm missing or something. What's going on, bro?"
Yeah. No, well, we sorted it out.
Yeah. We got it all together.
It's,
Hey, did you notice we've had no lag tonight? What have you done different on your end?
So I turned my Wi-Fi off.
Yep.
And I'm just running off my phone data because the kids are inside smashing it. So I was like, nah,
that's what I was noticing. Like, there's no lag at all. So that's what I thought. Being home tonight and doing it, if it was a lag, I'd say it's got to be on my end at the workshop. But
I've worked it out. But I'm taking all of my. So I've got to clean this shit up still. So I'm flat out. I'm taking all of my signs and everything down from the other workshop, and I'm gonna put them all up in here. So I'm going to build myself a cool little studio thing to utilize in with you guys. And I'm going to invest in probably a microphone or something so I don't...
I was about to say that. I've been looking at mics and things like that as well. So I think that's going to be a thing to next step. Like, we're talking about maybe doing a podcast type thing as well, just in case one of us gets kicked off TikTok or something happens. So
that will happen.
It's going to happen sooner or later. So,
yeah, actually, I got a phone call from a guy with a podcast last week, and they want me to be one of their first guests on their new thing. So that's cool.
Sweet.
That's a men's mental health thing.
Yep.
And they want to talk about like how it is running your own business and having a family and stuff. And I'm like, well, honestly, man, with my history and how I've grown up, we don't have to just talk about work. We can talk about whatever. Like, I don't want to.
Exactly, man. Yeah.
Like, we talk about work. I mean, I know it's something that we always do.
Yeah.
We all work, and that's what we can all talk about. But, like, when it comes to any of that stuff, man, we can do whatever you want.
Oh, exactly.
Party. Belle's giving us a party.
Yes. Right on the knockoff time though. Yeah, we're playing just before we close up. So, yeah.
Game of boys.
But no, we've got we've definitely got plans, stuff we want to do, which is good. So this is just the first sort of step for us. So well, you know more than me about this stuff. I'm just coming on for a ride at the moment. So
look, I tell you what, 6 weeks ago I had no idea how to do any of this. I had to get on ChatGPT and I bloody use these editors that then wanted to sting me hundreds of dollars, and then you get on YouTube and you upload it, and it's like, oh, you have to verify your account, and it deletes everything I spent. The first time that I loaded up one of these, I think it took me 9 hours or something.
Holy shit. Yeah.
But I got it happening. I said we were going to do it, and I'm always been a man of my word. I was very angry about it, but I've worked it out now. So, yeah. Hey, Belle, thanks for the party. She just come in and
thank you.
confetti everywhere. So
that's awesome. Yeah, we're a little bit we're sort of knocking off a bit early. But I mean, we always say we'll try and do an hour, and we always seem to clock over 2 hours easily.
Well, you know what? We might just call it now for the recording side of things, and I'm happy to stay on if you want to stay on.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm easy to sit and chat to everybody. So
yeah, because I want to have a chat with everyone. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to turn this recording off that I got here, and that's it. I'll edit this shit out, and we'll keep going.
That's it, man.
I'm in the mood, so.
Bloody oath, nice.